Did you know that the economic woes that most people complain about today are mostly self-imposed? When I was a kid, our toaster, TV, and refrigerator all lasted 20 years, and my dad bought a used car, every 6 to 7 years. Now, people have cable bills at $130 a month. They need a new iPhone every 18 months, a new $2,000 computer every 3 years, a $600 iPad every year, and families pay $400 or $500 a month in data and voice for everyone, including the 10-year-olds, to have cell phones. And let's not forget that people have permanent $400 a month car payments for life because they need a new car every 3 to 5 years. That's around $13,000 a year that people have to pay today that we either didn't have to pay at all 40 years ago, or they were significantly reduced from what they are today. When I landed my first professional job and immediately made twice as much money as I had made in a factory, I was shocked to find out that people making $20 an hour were just as broke as people making $9 an hour because they were addicted to buying and financing too much shit. Yes, almost everyone has struggled from time to time to pay their bills, but I've lived by the principle for many years that, you know what, if you can't pay cash for it, you can't afford it. I've seen people I know who claim to have no money buy stuff they can't afford time and time and time again, and then they complain about how broke they are, or they don't have the money to pay rent when they've dug a hole they simply can't get out of. I know millennials who are in college right now who are burning through their student loans like there's no tomorrow, and instead of working over the summer, they fly around the country partying with their friends with no concept of what it's going to take to pay off that foolish behavior. And the trouble is, I don't ever hear any politician bring personal responsibility into their campaign promises, because for heaven's sakes, they might piss somebody off and not get their vote. No one, especially Bernie Sanders, talks about all this extra discretionary spending we've gotten ourselves into today. But what I hear politicians like Sanders say is it's someone else's fault that you don't have the money. It's the millionaires and the billionaires who are responsible for you not having any money. When in reality, much of it could be solved by just looking in the mirror. That's my beef with Sanders and politicians like him. I don't think he's dealing with the real issues, and he's telling people what they want to hear instead of what they need to hear. We are not going to make this country and the people in it prosper just by taking away money from people because they have more than we do. The constant message we always hear from Bernie Sanders is always the same. You don't have what you want and need because someone else has more than they need. Either that or they aren't paying their fair share. Therefore, you can't have what you want. What Sanders preaches is nothing but pure greed. Just listen to any speech he has ever given and you will hear a few key phrases. In Bernie's world, the blame either goes to the millionaires and the billionaires or the multinational corporations. But it never goes to the individual people who spend too damn much money all the time and then they can't afford to buy what they really need. Stop listening to Bernie Sanders. All you will ever hear is blame. All you will ever hear is excuses, and all you will ever hear is a political philosophy that has never worked. Bernie Sanders does not have a clue on how to motivate people to go out and make it on their own. All he knows how to do is to motivate people with free shit, so they'll vote for him. Thank you for listening, and we do want to hear your comments, so please leave them in the comment section below this video, and don't forget to subscribe to Conservative News here on YouTube. See ya!